Welcome to my channel. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jaylyn. I am a nursing student and I'm actually in my second semester of nursing school. My program is a little different. I'm in an accelerated nursing program, so that just means that it's a program for people who already have a degree or in something else besides nursing, and they wanted a way to fast track into the nursing field. So for me, my program is actually 19 months instead of the traditional 3 years. So with that being said, that means that I have been in school for a long time. So if there is anything I know how to do at this point, it is study. So I decided to make a video for you guys to show you guys or to share with you guys some tips that I use every time I have an exam to study that have been helpful for me, not just in nursing school, but in every program I've been in. So if that sounds good, just keep watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm new to this, so I don't have any subscribers, so I would like some new friends. But yeah, if that sounds good, just keep watching. Okay, so my first tip is going to be start early. Okay, I know it is so annoying. I know everyone says that. That's what your teacher says. It's so generic, but if everyone is saying it, then it must be true, right? Okay, so by starting early, you're not only giving yourself enough time to see the information, you're allowing yourself to see the information multiple times. So like the earlier you start, the more times you can review a chapter, if that makes sense. So if I, for example, if I have an exam that is 2 weeks away, I want to start, as soon as possible. I want to start preferably 2 weeks before that exam, because that means that by the time that exam comes, I have not only seen the information that we learned in the class, but I've had pretty much 2 weeks to go over the exam, probably 3 times. My second tip kind of goes hand in hand with start early, but it's to pay attention in class. I know not like class is not for everyone. I personally don't feel like I learn that well in class. I feel like I will listen to you talk and you will say all these things to me, and at the end of the day, I will not know anything you said. But I feel like when I pay attention in class and I take good notes, that makes the studying a lot easier, because you're not teaching yourself as much. You're not like freshly new to the material that you're studying on your own. You'll be surprised of how much you subconsciously pick up when you're paying attention in class and when you're taking good notes, that when you go back and study, it may not be easy, but it's a lot easier than if you have never seen these words before. Also, I know a lot of classes, especially at my school, record their lectures. So that is like a reason why students say, oh, I don't have to go to class, they're recording the lecture. Yeah, no. Because it goes back to what I said before. The more times you expose yourself to that information, the more likely you are to remember it later. So even if they record the lectures in class, by going to class, you heard it once. By listening to recording, you heard it twice. By studying it over again, you've heard it 3 times. And by then, you probably know it. So, all right, guys. So my third tip is to study in different ways. So what I've noticed is that when people study, they just think they should just sit down and read the material over and over again, or just take a pencil and just rewrite the textbook over and over again and be like, well, I read it 4 times, so I should know it, right? Yeah, no, ma'am, that's not how you study. So I'm actually going to use this tip as a chance to break down exactly what I do to study. And I do this basically for all of my classes, with a few exceptions, but most of my professors in college and in nursing school, they give us slideshows. So what I do is, I know the teacher says to look over the slideshow, read the book beforehand. I don't do that. So what I do is I go to school, I go to lecture, and I take notes in the notes section of the slideshow. I pay attention, I write down what I can, I take really good active notes. Then when I get home, preferably that day or the next day, I will go ahead and type up those PowerPoints on a Word document. I do not copy and paste it. I do not type it in class, because that's cheating. That's shorting yourself out. Part of me typing this up is so that I am giving myself another chance to see and learn the information. Same thing as writing it down, except I'm typing it because my handwriting sucks. By typing it in class to save yourself some time later on, I feel like that takes away from paying attention to what's going on in lecture. So you're more focused on doing your study guide, that you might be missing what key points he's saying in class that aren't typed on the slideshow. And also, by copying and pasting it, you're skipping a whole step. You're skipping the part where you're rewriting the information, you're learning it. And so that's really important. That's the most important part of my studying process, is to retype the lectures. Once I retype the lectures, I won't look over it again until I've done every lecture for the test. Then I print them out, and then I have the Word document form of all of my lectures. I then, if we have a textbook, I go to the textbook. If I have extra notes and slides that I want to look over, or like, a different resource that I want to use, I use my printed notes and my textbook and or resource side by side, and I study like that. So I'll take my printed notes, I'll take a highlighter, I'll highlight important steps. This is where I start using my pens and writing in extra notes that I may have missed, or something that I see in the textbook that wasn't in my notes, things like that. So I fill them in, and they go hand in hand together. That way, I've not only seen this information in class, I've typed it, I've probably listened to a recording if they have a recording, I've read the book, and I've written on top of it. So I have done so many different things with this material that there is no way that a single piece of information has slipped by me, which means that that means I am ready for the test. So that also goes hand in hand with starting early. If you wait till the last minute, you can't do all of that. And my fourth tip is to find your sweet spot, okay? So that can go with time and space. You need to figure out what time of day you are most awake and most actively paying attention, and where you are more productive. Gosh, that was hard. Where you are more productive, okay? So if you're a night owl, by all means, stay up all night and study for the test. But if you find yourself getting groggy by 7 p.m., you probably shouldn't be doing your hardest studying at 8 p.m. Like, you shouldn't do that because you're wasting your time and your energy. You might as well just go to sleep. So if you are a morning person or a day person, try studying early in the morning or middle of the day and going to bed early so you can maximize the time. You don't have to stay up late to hustle. That's not a thing. I don't even know what number this is anymore, but this is my last tip to you guys, and that is to be confident, okay? Be confident. You've done everything that you can do. You've studied all the material. You've read every chapter. You listened to all the lectures. You know this stuff. So go in there and show them that you know it, okay? So I always say to my friends, that studying is the hard part. The test is the easy part. So you need to look at that test like you're going to pick up your A, okay? So you've already done the work. You've already gotten an A. You're going in there to pick it up, okay? So make sure you go in there with confidence, because you can study everything and know all the stuff and then go in there second guessing yourself and then fail, because at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. So there are different ways to prepare yourself and build that confidence before your exam. I personally like to pray. I like to meditate. I like to remember that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be here without him, and I wouldn't have studied this material as well as I did without him. So make sure you guys are going to the exam with confidence. Make sure that you're praying, that you're meditating, that you're doing whatever it is that you need to do to put yourself in the mindset that you can do this, because at the end of the day, you can. So that's all the tips that I have for you guys. If you like this video, just please give me a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe down below, leave a comment, give me a shout out, because this is my first video. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.